Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. This week I'm going to talk about XXX3, The Return of Xander Cage. XXX3, The Return of Xander Cage is of course the third movie in the XXX, if we can call it that, trilogy, about these extreme sporters who gets recruited into the NSA to become these badass agents. Back in 2002, when the first XXX movie was released, I went to see it. And having seen Vin Diesel, the star of XXX, in both Pitch Black and the first Fast and the Furious flick, I went in to see XXX with an open mind. And yes, the XXX movie and the movies which followed, they aren't Oscar material. They are bang bang, shoot 'em up action flicks filled with one-liners, but also filled with bikini babes. That's one of the great things about the XXX movies. So anyway, the story is in the first film that Vin Diesel, he is this extreme sports dude who gets recruited by the NSA. To be more precise, Samuel Jackson, who is like the Nick Fury of this universe. And he has this scar in his face, and he says to him, oh, if you want to avoid going to jail, then you have to join the NSA. And Vin Diesel, he goes like, and so on and so on. And the first film, as I said, it's okay, a guilty pleasure of mine, because it introduced me to the German metal band Rammstein. But an okay film. And then the second movie came out starring Ice Cube, who does what Ice Cube does best, and one-liners like Vin Diesel. And now, over 14 years have passed since the first XXX movie came out. And now they have made a sequel called XXX3, The Return of Xander Cage. And in the second film we were told that Xander Cage, Vin Diesel's character, he was killed in Afghanistan in Bora Bora, but now he's back. And yeah, in the beginning of this film, we once again have Samuel Jackson, but he's killed, we are told, but maybe we can guess that they didn't have the budget to have him more in the movie for 5 minutes or something like that. But when, as I said, the story progresses, we have Toni Collette, who have starred in many films, but I guess she lacked some money for a pool, maybe, or something like that, because she starred in this XXX3 film. And she re-recruits Vin Diesel's character, Xander Cage, who is much alive, to go fetch this unit which can control satellites. And one can easily see that the third film here, it's totally different, because it really caters to the Asian market by including Donnie Yen and a lot of kung fu. It was a totally different film in many aspects. And I must say the first 30 minutes, they were more like as I said, a kung fu flick than like the two previous XXX films. But I guess when times change. And once again, Vin Diesel, he goes, and Samuel Jackson is killed within the first 5 minutes of the film, we're led to believe. And when we are introduced to, as I said, Donnie Yen, who we recently saw in Rogue One, and he is somewhat okay. And then we have this Indian actress called Deepika Padukone, and I must say she's sexy. And who else do we have? One moment. An actor called Chris View, an actress called Ruby Rose, and so on and so on. But then, of course, there's a cameo by Ice Cube in the latter part of the film, and he goes, and he goes around and he's a spoiler of course, he has this noob tube, as it's called in Call of Duty, and he noob tubes some bad guys in the latter part of the film. And it was, you can see that Vin Diesel, if I remember correctly, he's executive producer, and it was this movie here. It was more like a somewhat version of the Fast and the Furious flicks, because Vin Diesel, he assembles this team, and they have to go and do stuff, and so on and so on. And of course, this movie sets up for a sequel. And spoiler alert, if you remember the previous films, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury character in the XXX universe, we're told that he has been pronounced dead several times, and of course Samuel Jackson's character isn't dead in this film either. So, is this movie any good? Yeah, I don't know really, because it's very unsimilar if you compare it to the two previous films. But in some aspects, yeah, it's better, and in other aspects, it's worse. So maybe it's just me who isn't 21 anymore. By the way, I'm 35. But yeah, I left the theater with mixed feelings. And yeah, it does set up for a sequel, but I will not have high expectations of that sequel, if it's ever made, that it's any better than this film here. So all in all, if I'm gonna rate XXX3, The Return of Xander Cage, I will give it 2 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you liked this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description, which will take you to a playlist of my previous reviews / movie talks. But I will return next week with another movie review / movie talk. Until then, have a pleasant weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.